Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. This week we will be going to Chicago twice and have a book club meeting as well as finishing up the library. I'm reorganizing, so that'll be fun. So, a decently busy week after a couple weeks of not busy at all. So, let's go ahead and jump right in. It is Monday night, and I don't want to do anything. I actually got off of work 2 hours early, and silly me, I'm like, that's so awesome. I'm gonna have so much time to do all the things. I have to clean, I have to finish editing, I have to read, and of course I got home, I went grocery shopping, and then I got home, and I'm just like, yeah, I don't want to do anything. Like, I picked up a little bit, and I'm supposed to start cooking, and I just really don't want to. Sorry, Reese nudged my hand. But I did read, like, I tried to read the book club book, This Guys Belong to Us, like, in between my meetings today. I finished a chapter, so that's nice. I also listened to another hour and 15 minutes of, hi Betty, of Crime and Punishment. I'm really excited because the people that I'm buddy reading with, they said that part 4 gets, like, insane, and I just finished part 3 on my drive home. Buddy, I'm trying to talk. So I will start part 4 tomorrow because I have to drive to Chicago for a meeting, so I'll have some extra driving time. But that's my reading update. There's Reese. And I'm gonna try to make myself cook, even though I don't really want to. I'm tired. Okay, so this is a little crooked, but couple things. Today's been really busy, pretty emotional. I hope this isn't a regular Tuesday thing. So, I haven't read any more of The Skies Belong to Us, but I have read more of Crime and Punishment because I had to drive to Chicago, and so I listened to about an hour and a half. I'm on part 4, and I know that chapter 4, the end of chapter 4, something crazy is supposed to happen. But I don't know what, but I will listen to it tomorrow. And Rask has pretty much, like, resolved the thing with his sister being engaged. But after that, he's just like, all right, I can't be around you guys for a while. And he just, like, bounced. Not sure why. He's like, I can't. I'm assuming he's, still dealing with, like, guilt and his conscience and stuff like that. But the real reason I wanted to film was because I got a holiday present from a friend of mine. I knew what they were sending me, but I didn't know it was going to look this cool. So my friend Jess got calendars made for us by, I believe it's by an Etsy shop, and I don't know the name yet, but I messaged them and asked for the shop, and so I will put the name up somewhere. But I wanted to show it off because it's a Lord of the Rings calendar, and it's 15 months? No, 14 months. It goes to the end of next February. So, looks like this. So it has Minas Tirith as the first one, and then everything in the boxes corresponds to what happened on that date in Lord of the Rings. And this is such a silly thing to be so excited about, but it starts the weeks on Mondays, which, if you're in America, we don't do that. Americans start their weeks on Sundays, and it bothers me because that's not how my brain works. My brain says that the week starts on Monday, and every planner that I've ever had that starts a week on Sunday just, like, really bothers me. So, but I wanted to show it off a little bit. So there you have the Gates of Moria. And Lothlorien. And this artwork is gorgeous. And then I went right past it. Oh, there we go. March is the Shire, and I think that's down at by water. Okay, Jess just messaged me. It's Don Marshall 72, I think, but I'll put the name up, and I'll link them in the description. They just texted me, and so I think they said it was TikTok, but I will have links and things so that you can go get yourself a calendar, because this is just so well made. Like, I'm beyond thrilled. And then, like, look at that. It's really bothering me that I can't actually remember the name of that location. I know what it is, and I can't remember the name. That's gonna bug the crap out of me. I will also have a pop-up with the correct name. And God, this is just so cool. Sorry, I'm looking at it and I'm not showing it to you at all. Like, I'm pretty sure this is the Falls of Raros, which I always butcher trying to pronounce, so sorry about that. And then we have Sangorn. Ugh. Anyway, okay. So that's my new calendar. I'm going to put it up in the library because where else would it go, quite honestly? But I'm so happy. Thank you so much, Jess. I love it. And that's it. That's all I got for tonight. Good morning. So there aren't going to be a lot of videos of me reading today unless I go up to the library and use my actual camera. Usually I just use my phone for the B-roll of me reading, but since all day I'm pretty much going to be reading The Skies Belong to Us, and that is on my Kindle, which is on my phone. That's not gonna work. So I'm sorry if you just get clips back to back of my face. Like I mentioned last night, or maybe I deleted that clip because the sound wasn't good, which is fully possible, but I have read more of The Skies Belong to Us in between meetings yesterday. I'm at 40% now, so, and my dad told me that the last, 14% of the book is, notes and stuff, so I don't need to read that, so I'll say I'm, halfway through the book. So I should be able to finish it today before book club, but I also have a ton of other appointments. Like, I have personal training, and then I have therapy, and then Reese right here has to go to the vet. He's super excited. And then I have a writing date tonight, so I'm just gonna be trying to, grab snatches of reading in between all of this. So where I am right now in The Skies Belong to Us, it bounces between the general sort of history of skyjacking and how it started, and the the measures that used to be in place, and measures that they were talking about implementing to prevent skyjacking, screening passengers, checking bags, metal detectors, all that sort of stuff, and the airlines being impossible, we would never, that would make the experience so bad for travelers, they would never want to pay. And I'm just yeah, give it 40 years. So it's just the whole part about the government trying to do something and then private companies pushing back and ultimately getting their way, I find fascinating because welcome to America. So it balances between like the general history of skyjacking and focusing on the story of this like interracial couple that hijacks a plane bound for like Seattle or something, and the man involved, and like most people who commit skyjacking are men, unsurprising. That's just statistics. But the man is a Vietnam vet who is troubled and needs help. He has a lot of trauma. He has a lot of delusions, and it's quite frankly really sad. Because I know that's a story for a lot of vets coming back from battles, that they just need help, and because they don't get the help, they end up doing really unfortunate things, and then that sort of mars their legacy. And so I can see that's where it's going, and it's just like, hate that a little. But that's not the author's fault. That it's nonfiction. This is a true story. He's just reporting it. And I can tell he's trying to do it, like, I think as kindly as possible, so I do appreciate that. So I said in my clip last night that, like, I'm not hating this book as much as I thought I would. I'm not hating it at all, actually. Because quite frankly, if I was hating it like some of the other books that I've read for Family Book Club, and it was the day that we were meeting, I would just DNF it and just own up to it, because I'm not gonna stress about a book that I hate. But I'm actually enjoying this, so I want to finish it. Just happens I have a deadline. So that's that. I'm trying to do this quickly so that I can start reading. I also listened to another 10-ish% of Crime and Punishment yesterday. I'm gonna repeat myself from my clip last night because I really think I'm not gonna be able to use it. But I finished part 4, which like was not my favorite part, and I feel bad I'm not going to say anything in our like group chat for the buddy read. I feel like it was overhyped by someone, because someone was like, part 4 is my favorite, it was so chaotic. And I got to it, I'm like, I mean, the first half of part 4 is good. The second half is Rask just talking to this guy Porphyry, and Porphyry's just, I don't know, he just rubbed me the wrong way. And plus he had this like, so I'm listening to it in an audiobook. Chapter 5 of part 4, I'm getting very specific in case anyone wants to read this, is so long. It is 50 minutes, and most of it is just Porphyry talking. And maybe some of what he was saying was interesting, but I zoned out after a while. Because I'm just like, I would zone out and I'd zone back in. Oh, he's still talking. Zone out. Oh, Rask had said like a sentence, and then Porphyry kept talking. Zone out. And that was how I passed that chapter. So the chapter after that was more plot, which I appreciated. But yeah, chapter 5, not my favorite. But now I'm on part 5, and I think I know what's gonna happen. I think Rask is finally gonna tell someone what he did, and the person that he chose is interesting. So yeah, that's a little update. I'm going to end this clip here because I need to start reading. So I will talk to you guys later. Hey everyone. So I realized that like I said in my clip yesterday, like I didn't film that much, especially I didn't film any B-roll yesterday. Because I was reading on my phone, and that's usually where I film my B-roll. And so I wanted to talk about The Skies Belong to Us. I did finish it about 3 hours before I had book club. I ended up giving it a 3.5 out of 5. It was pretty good. And I've had some, time to talk through sort of my opinion on the book, so this might be a little more coherent than you usually get, or maybe not. I might just still ramble like I'm doing now. So anyway, pretty much what I thought was like, it was a good book. It was more interesting than I thought it was going to be. However, I think the author's choice of focusing on this one particular hijacking and then giving all the background information around it was a good choice, but I feel like it was the wrong focus. So what I mean by that is that, like, The Skies Belong to Us focuses on this particular hijacking that happened in, I want to say, 1972. And it was originally bound for Seattle, but the hijackers, Roger and Kathy, routed it to San Francisco and then to Algeria, which was not their original plan, but whatever. Pretty much what I felt was that the focus would have been better if it focused on the pilot's perspective rather than the hijackers, because I feel like we would have got the same amount of information and it would have been more, I would have been more invested. Not that I wasn't invested in Roger and Kathy's story, I was. And it feels weird, one, just to be talking about it like this, because they're real people. You know, they really existed. They really did the thing. But we don't know that much about Kathy, and it's revealed later why. And so, like, we get a lot about Roger, and while it is interesting and heartbreaking, he's a Vietnam vet that clearly was suffering and wasn't getting the help that he needed. The book is built around this, like, epidemic of hijacking planes that happened in the late 60s, early 70s. And so to focus on Roger, it meant that the book started out pretty slow, and then, like, the hijacking happened, and then the last, like, 20% of the book was still focused on Roger, even though the hijacking had already happened, instead of focusing on other hijacking that occurred after him. And so it was just like, I don't know, I just felt like I would have been more invested if it focused on the pilot's perspective and how much dealing with all these hijackings impacted them, because it had to. And there were skyjackings every day in that time, like, and at the very least multiple times a week. Some happened on the exact same day, and so it's just like, it had to be really traumatizing for the pilots, and I would have been more interested in that. But it was well written. I liked the concept. It wasn't a book that I would have picked up myself, and so I am glad that my cousin picked it. So it was interesting. I gave it a 3.5. If I had the physical book, I would probably keep it. But I just got it on Kindle, which, again, is why I didn't film yesterday. So that's sort of the update. I didn't read, or I didn't listen to Crime and Punishment this morning. It was just too early. Like, I left my house at 7. I didn't really sleep well last night, so I didn't want to put myself to sleep. But I am going to temple tonight for Shabbat, and so I will listen to Crime and Punishment on my way there, and then on my way home, so I'll still get about 2 hours. And that's about it. Hey everyone, it's Sunday. I don't think I filmed anything yesterday. I sort of ended up having like a very meh sort of day. I read like one of the short stories in My Man Jeeves, and that was pretty much it. So I didn't film like updating. And because I read that, like, it was just one story, so I don't feel like I can give an accurate opinion on Jeeves and Worcester stories yet. It was funny and entertaining, but it was also only like 28 pages. So so I will definitely be reading more, maybe tonight, but definitely in the upcoming week, because I know I need to get that done so Dad and I can film the next episode of the podcast, which is out officially, by the way. I will put a link in the description box. You can listen to me and my dad talk about PG Wodehouse. So, in case you didn't, hear me talk about it enough last month. Other than that, I've listened to more of Crime and Punishment. I'm about 75% through. I just finished the second to last chapter of part 5, which means after I finish this next chapter, I only have one more part. So I have about, I want to say like 6 hours left to listen to, maybe like 5-ish. I think, and I'm also at the point now where I think I have to be careful about what I talk about, because spoilers. So Raskolnikov, whose name I can say accurately now because I've just heard it so much. Cats. There's a cat? Where's Cat? There's Cat. Hi, buddy. No, you don't want to say hi? Oh, he's gonna walk in front of the camera. Yep. You're just gonna get snatches of his face. So Raskolnikov has stopped being so dickish. It comes and goes, and like it's very like on a dime switching. Can't say that Raskolnikov is like my favorite character. I miss Razumihin. We haven't heard from him in this part, but I'm fairly certain he's gonna come back in part 6. So I'm looking forward to that because I like him. He's just, a lovable idiot who just wants to be there for his best friend, even though his best friend is a murderer, but he doesn't know that. So, yeah, I really didn't like, I think I talked about it like earlier this week. I really didn't like part 4, particularly chapter 5 in part 4, where I mentioned a guy just like went off on literally a 50-minute monologue, and it really was really, really annoying. So I looked up what that was supposed to be because I think I said this earlier, like I zoned out because I did not find the character interesting. He was just talking at Raskolnikov, and so I just zoned out. So I looked it up of like, what was that? And pretty much that was supposed to be this guy who was like a detective trying to solve the murder that Raskolnikov committed, but no one knows that. This guy suspecting Raskolnikov and like trying to hint/trap him and confirm his suspicions, but I don't know how it's gonna happen when you don't let the murderer talk. If you don't let the suspect talk ever, how are you supposed to catch him in anything? So really didn't like that character. I liked him less than Raskolnikov, which is saying something. At least Raskolnikov, lets other people talk. In fact, he tends to just sit there for some chapters and just exist. But that's fine. So yeah, so that's Crime and Punishment. I'm trying to remember the last time I filmed, because I didn't film yesterday, and so it's my whole day is off. Anyway, I worked today, and I was fine. It was whatever. And then there's a gymnastics meet at 7 o'clock tonight that I'm gonna watch because my team is hosting. So I think I'm going to just ask Siri what I should do until 7 o'clock starts, and then I will do that. So I might read some more, I might not. I think that because I'm not like super cheery right now, and I'm also starting to get a headache, I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap this vlog up, because even if I do end up reading more tonight, it's just going to be like another short story of Jeeves and Wooster, and that can go in next week's vlog. So I'm going to go ahead and end this here. Thank you for watching. If you have read any of the books that I read this week, whether it's Crime and Punishment, or what was the other ones I read? The Skies Belong to Us, and I think I finished Carnal Knowledge in this one. I don't even know. I don't know. I don't know what I've done. The whole week just like flew by, and so I'm sorry you're not getting me at my best, but I can't always be amazing. So anyway, like, comment, subscribe, please. I'm really trying to grow my channel. If there's anything in particular you want to see in the future, I'm trying to do more themed videos that'll be like bonus videos, so I can get 2 a week, but we'll just have to see. I am planning on filming my bookshelf tour this Tuesday, so hopefully I will get that out either this week or next week. Anyway, I hope you all have a very lovely week, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!